Hi, I'm Eva. Today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. Now, the first thing about intermittent fasting is that it's not a new concept. Humans have been doing it for a very, very long time for a variety of reasons. One of the ones that is most recognizable is food shortages and famine. Eating less per day in order to elongate your food supply was a very common reason for intermittent fasting. A lot of religions and faiths require fasting for a variety of reasons, and a lot of people today use it for weight loss and maintaining a healthier lifestyle. We're going to talk about the two main kinds that we use today, one being a daily intermittent fast, and the other one being one of full days of fasting. Now, full days of fasting, a lot of people are intimidated by because it looks like you're not going to eat anything in a day, and that's not the reality of it. In a full day of fast, you generally take in about 400 to 600 calories in that day, which is obviously a lot lower than you would normally consume, but during that time you're also heavily encouraged to take a lot of supplement and take in nutrients that are not directly from food. And the foods that you do eat, you want to be very nutritious foods. You don't want to be eating a Big Mac, but you want to be eating a lot of very nutritious foods, whole foods, healthy foods. You don't want to be eating very nutrient-dense things like meats and cheeses. You want to have a lot of fruit and vegetable, nuts, things that will fill up your stomach with a very low calorie count. On that cleanse day, you're also going to want to take in a lot of water. I know on fast days, a lot of people like having matcha, green tea, coffee, water with additives like Mio and that, and those are all great options. It is heavily recommended that you stay away from alcoholic drinks because they do have more caloric intake, and that kind of ruins the idea of doing the fast day. It's also really not recommended to do a fast when you are in situations where you need a lot of calories, where you're expending a lot of energy. Myself personally, I would not do one while I'm in the field. For those of you who don't know, I work industrial construction. So I wouldn't do a fast day while I'm in the field, but certainly on a day off, I have no problem doing that because it's nice. There is certainly a lot of energy that comes from it, and I don't know why, but when you do a fast day, you feel like you can conquer the world. Perhaps it's because your body is getting a shake-up. Our metabolisms and our digestive systems become accustomed to what we eat on a daily basis, and when you do a little shake-up, things change. Your body responds to it. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not doing a full day of fasting is right for you, but certainly look into it. The other kind of fasting is one that I've used for a very long time for weight loss, and I found it to be very effective, and that's daily intermittent fasting. For me personally, what I would do when I was working in the field, I needed calories. I needed to take in fuel in order to burn it off throughout the day, and just climbing stair towers and wearing a belt or running around a job site takes a fair amount of energy. So I knew I needed calories, and I knew I wanted to lose weight at the same time, and I was trying to figure out a way that would work well for me, and I found intermittent fasting, and I went, well, this seems like a good system for me. And what I did was I put my calories to work in the hours that I needed them, and then would reduce them in hours where I wouldn't need them. So for me, I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'd have my breakfast at about 5:30 in the morning, have another light snack before work at about 6 in the morning, eat at my 2 coffee breaks throughout the day, and my last meal of the day was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because I'd be done work a few hours after that, and then all I would really do is take a shower and go to bed. So I knew I didn't need any more calories after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just didn't eat them. Using that method, I actually lost over 20 pounds in 3 months, which obviously is not a massive accelerated weight loss, but I wasn't eating any less food. I was just reallocating where those calories went. I was still eating about 2,000 calories a day. I just was making them more efficient, I guess. If I had cut back on the calorie intake and done that, I obviously would have seen more results faster. A lot of people, when they do daily intermittent fasting, find the hours that work best for them. Obviously, there's no set schedule for it. If you're an early riser and you tend to go to bed a little bit earlier, you'd probably set it back a little bit. Or if your day doesn't really start till much later, you'd have a very light morning and a heavier afternoon. That makes sense for food. But really, the whole point of this was, does it work? Is fasting a good method for weight loss? And yes. Yes, it is. We see it all over the place, not because it's a super new, cool idea, but because it's been an efficient way of doing it for a long time, and it's been right in front of our faces. Intermittent fasting works. Whether you choose to do it daily or a once a week or twice a week day of fasting is up to you. Really look at the way it'll fit best into your life. Not everyone has the same daily routine and the same needs, so make it work for you. Realistically, if you're gonna do intermittent fasting, please ensure that you are getting the nutrients you require. Don't cut back on the amount of food, cut back on calorie dense food. Try to avoid things that are really, really, really high in calories and only eating a couple of those things throughout the day. Opt more so for foods that, are less calorie dense, like vegetables and fruits and whole grain foods, where you eat more of them physically to get as many calories. Your body will be fuller, you'll feel better for it, your digestive system will be much happier with you. Anyways, if you guys have any questions or want to have a conversation about it, down below is a great place for it. And if you have any stories or experiences with intermittent fasting or any of the other kinds of fasting, please put them down below. I'd be very interested to learn about the reasons you did and how it worked for you. And on that note, I'm Eva. If you guys like this video, please hit like, comment down below, and hit subscribe so I can see you guys next time.